channel. So in this video here, I have for you guys another cooking video. I haven't did a cooking video in probably like 2 months, maybe, give or take. So in this video here, I'm going to be making Parmesan crusted pork chops. Now, I saw this recipe on Facebook last night. I don't know how well this is going to turn out for me, but I'm going to do my first attempt at it for you guys today. So let's just go ahead and jump on into the ingredients on what you will need. I will also put a picture somewhere here on the screen of what the recipe actually says, but I want to do my own little twist on it. So let's go ahead and jump right on into this video. Okay, so obviously the first thing you are going to need is your pork chops right here. I got 2 packs of pork chops unthawed. That's the way I can make more because I have a bigger family. So there's the pork chop. Okay, then the recipe also calls for all this except for salt. I'm going to add some salt in mine too, but the recipe don't call for salt. So you will need black pepper, parsley, garlic powder, paprika, obviously your Parmesan. This is all the Parmesan I have, is like so much. Like I said, I'm going to be adding salt in mine. And you also need your Italian style breadcrumbs or whatever breadcrumbs you prefer. This is just the Markham breadcrumbs Italian style. And then you also will need your vegetable oil, which the recipe calls for olive oil, but I ain't got olive oil. I'm using vegetable oil. It's pretty much the same thing. Alright, now moving on to your dishes and stuff that you will need. I'm using this bowl right here to do my pork chops in because I'm not going to just roll them. I'm going to shake them like this. And then you also need your tongs right here to flip the pork chops over. A fork to stir the seasonings. You also need a pan to cook your pork chops in. I'm using my non-stick pan. And then you also need a baking dish to finish up cooking the pork chops. So that is that. So let's go ahead and get started with throwing all this together. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is preheat your oven. I am going to do 450 because that's what the recipe calls for. So my oven is on 450. Okay, so I'm just going to use this bowl to pour all the seasonings and stuff in. So now it don't say on the recipe how much to use of this, so I'm just going to eyeball it as best as I can. So I'm going to zoom you guys in. Okay, so let's do some Parmesan in my bowl. I'm going to do the rest of the Parmesan that I got. Now let's go in with some paprika. And now let's go in with some parsley flakes. I'm just eyeballing this as best as I can. Now let's go in with some garlic powder. I'm going to use some more than what the recipe actually calls for, so because I love my garlic. And now black pepper. Salt. And now we're going to go in with the breadcrumbs. I have to open them first. And let's just pour so much in there to make enough. And now taking my fork to stir everything all around, as you guys can see. Okay, so now with clean hands, we are going to take one of the pork chops out of the bag, you guys can see, and we are just going to flip them like this in the mixture. Okay, so I got a few made, so now let's pour some oil in our pan so we can start these bad boys frying. Okay, and then you want to take your pork chop and just slap it in there like that. So I'm going to do a few more and then I'll see you guys back in just a minute. Okay, so I'm on the last one that will actually fit in my pan right here, as you guys can see. So this is going to take just a little bit longer than what I expected because we're going to be making so many. Okay, so now we got the pork chops in the pan here. We are going to turn the pan on high for a little bit, and then we are going to let these here, my oven's preheated, let these fry on each side for 2 minutes until golden brown. And then after that, I'll show you guys what it looks like when we go to put them in the pan. Okay, so now let's flip these bad boys over. So I don't know how well you guys are seeing this, but there's what they look like so far. So we gotta let them sit for another 2 minutes on this side, and then we'll do the others. Okay, so while those are frying on that side for 2 minutes, I'm gonna go ahead and make the rest of these right here, so it won't take me that long. And I'm just gonna put them in this bowl, and then I will show you guys the rest of the process afterwards. Okay, so I got the rest of them done, as you guys can see right here. Now it is time to take these and put in our pan. There's that. Okay. So now, as you guys can see, that's what they look like in the pan. Now let's put the other ones in this pan and turn it down some. So. These take 2 minutes on each side. So I'll come back in 2 minutes. Okay, so I just flipped these here over, and this is what they're looking like now. So now I am fixing to put my other ones in. Only got 3 left. Okay, now these are done. Almost. Yep, almost. And then I got to finish putting them in my pan right here. And then I got to bake them for a little bit. And then the Parmesan pork chops will be done. They turned out just a little more crispier than I actually really wanted them. But as you guys can see here, right here on the edge, how it's more crispier. And now I'm going to put these in the oven after I'm going to sprinkle the rest of my little Parmesan mix over top of them, as you guys can see, just to give them a little more Parmesan-y. Okay, so the only other thing I did is I poured the grease from the pan in here as well, so they won't burn, so they can have something to, you know, do. After I poured the rest of my Parmesan mix on it, now I'm just like flipping them over, as you guys can see here, so they'll be like evenly coated with the Parmesan stuff. And then once they're flipped over, I'm going to pour the rest of my little mix over, as you guys can see. Okay. And now I'm just going to sit these in the oven for 8 to 10 minutes. And then I'll see you guys back when it's done. Okay, so the 8 to 10 minutes has been up, so now it is time to remove them out of the oven. Okay, so this is what they look like after they are out of the oven. So like I was saying, this is what they look like after they are out of the oven. Now I got to let them rest for about 5-10 minutes, and then they'll be ready to serve. But I'm going to make some more things to go along with it. So, but I'm not doing that on camera. Okay guys, so this is what everything looks like now that it is done, as you guys can see. So we have the Parmesan crusted pork chops, as you guys can see right there. Green beans, baked beans, and cornbread. So there is our supper for today. Here is in my plate. Sorry for what?
I sneezed while you're trying to talk.
It's fine.